We'll fix it in post.
Wait.
I can't fix your roleplay in post.
Can you fix my rolls?
Yeah, it'll be like, oh shit, I rolled a 20.
I die a horrible death. Yay.
So speaking of dying a horrible death, welcome back to season 3, you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back!
Yeah.
We are back. And I want to welcome the listeners to the Average Adventuring Party podcast. If you haven't listened to the first 2 seasons, what the fuck are you doing here? Go back and listen.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not our fault if you're confused.
We could do a little recap. No, we got to re-record the entire thing with all this brand new audio equipment instead of recording it through a onboard laptop.
You know what
accidentally.
What I think we could do is, we fucked this up so bad last time. We can just start the entire campaign back over again with these characters, and maybe something different will happen.
Yes.
I feel like we've done that before.
That's what's going to happen. I'm not just going to crinkle up your character sheets and insist you guys play a new game.
Yes.
Yet.
I'm fine re-recording it, but I want to release the episodes out of order. That way nobody, including us, has any idea what the hell's going on.
You say that like we know what's going on now.
No. So I like that idea, but even better, we record it in different episodes. We'll release them
in order.
In order that we record them, but...
Well, to be fair, at this point, you guys have played in this setting long enough. I think you'll have created an equal amount of lore, so you probably know about as much as I do.
That's scary.
It is. You heard it here. If there's anything fucky or you take offense to it, it wasn't me. It was these guys.
It was the GM.
I mean, he killed Cabby, so we can hold it all against him.
We have drastically different memories of how that went down.
On the bright side, none of the average adventuring party holds grudges or remembers things.
So speaking of holding grudges, we got this new thing that we're going to try out moving forward. We're going to actually let you guys, the audience, pay us directly to do mouth stuff. Yeah. No, not that kind of mouth stuff. The pleasurable mouth stuff.
All right. Oh, I think you and I have very different definitions of pleasurable then.
What, you eating spaghetti over there?
Yes. Why do you think it's pleasurable?
So, having said that, what we're going to do moving forward is, if you want to help us out, server costs and equipment costs and all that fun shit, you can help us by sponsoring an F-bomb. Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. You get to pay us to say the word fuck, which, quite honestly, has been a dream of mine since I was little bitty.
Fuck for free.
Point of order. Don't we already say fuck for free?
We do.
Why should they pay for it?
I mean,
I can
say if you're good at something, don't do it for free.
Oh, damn.
I can say it like this very sensually. Fuck.
You heard it here. We are now the average ASMR fuck party.
Get the fuck off of my podcast. You're done. Get out. No, so I'll link it in the show notes, but from our Linktree page, you can just pay us $5. Tell us who in your life needs an F-bomb dropped on them, and one of these nerds here will do it. I promise you we're all professionals.
Mm-hmm. We will don't try this at home.
Yeah. Or do.
Yeah.
Either way.
No, don't, because we want them to pay us to do it.
You're not supposed to say that part out loud.
Oh. Don't listen to what I just said.
Anyway, I'll put that in the show notes. Speaking of sponsored F-bombs, we actually have a couple of them. I think we'll just do one for now.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start off.
Yeah, I gotta keep it.
Because our first sponsored F-bomb actually comes courtesy of us. Granted, it's not to all of you. That's right, the AAP crew pulled some strings with the guy that runs the podcast and stole the first slot for ourselves. So for all the trolls and haters who said that the podcast wouldn't last more than 2 episodes, you can and must go fuck yourself.
Perfect.
And I want video proof.
I think we'd have to pay them then.
Never mind.
Speaking of going and fucking yourselves, What happened last time, you guys? It's been 4 months for us. I don't think the listeners have.
It's only been 10 weeks for them.
Yeah. So just a refresher. What kind of shenanigans? What wholesome shenanigans did you guys get into last time?
We killed a dragon?
And we definitely didn't fuck it up in any way whatsoever.
I don't think we did fuck it up. I'm proud of that outcome.
Flawless execution. We
Could have been
definitely
better.
didn't end up with the party split 4 different ways.
Could have been a lot worse.
It could have been
could
a
have
whole lot
been.
worse.
The party could have been split 8 ways, and then that's a whole problem.
On the bright side, I'm already a side of beef, so, it's just getting ahead of the work.
So yeah, through all kinds of strangeness
And math.
and math.
It's so much math.
Kemet, the red dragon progenitor, was resurrected, went on a tiny little rampage, and was killed by these 4 guys, which is to say Suna, the Kitsune druid, is played by Ray. Iocus, the Minotaur monk, played by Mike. It's a lot of M's. Galdrian, the elven bard, played by Steve. And Ardith, the one I always fuck up, the elven rogue, played by Stephanie. I always say elven bard for some reason, and that's...
Episode 1.
Gary, fuck you.
Episode 1. The reason you have trouble with that, whenever she was first recording it and she was introducing herself, like 3 times she said elven bard and then was like, oh, fuck, we need to re-record that.
And we didn't.
So what, you put all 3 of those fuck ups
Yes.
on
Oh,
Probably.
yes. It was fantastic.
I don't listen to our own podcast. I don't know what the hell goes on there.
there? I definitely don't listen to our own podcast. I don't want to hear my animal voice.
Well, fortunately, we didn't fuck up so badly that we created a new tiefling that, will come back and haunt us in the future.
I will punch her in the throat.
Yeah.
First
So
night.
Martiana may and or may not have manipulated you into helping her ascend into being a tiefling.
Wouldn't that be descend?
Depends on how you look at it. For her, it was a step up. Let's see. Most of the caldera was destroyed.
Turned into Pompeii because the volcano erupted.
It did. Let's see.
Turned into December, a.k.a. after November. You can edit that one out.
Just like you in November. I'm not touching that one. Yeah, so all kinds of crazy random happenstance got you into the position where after Kemet was killed and he crashed into the caldera, causing the volcano underneath to erupt, you all found yourselves in various corners of the world.
Because our lives weren't complicated enough.
Your lives aren't complicated enough. I took the whole don't split the party and just ripped it to shreds and split 4 parties.
And who told you that was a good idea?
Our life isn't as complicated as saying being captured, trolled off to a foreign empire, and making sweet, sweet marriage with one of our enemies.
Don't you mean hot sex?
Yes, hot sex.
With the guy that I want to kill.
Yes.
And his lieutenant?
We'll
But
find-
ours isn't complicated.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, we're gonna open with Iocus. Iocus, you have a terrible, terrible headache. More than that, you have a terrible body ache all over. It feels like you have just been bruised from hoof to horn.
One big bruise. Yes.
Yeah. When you open your eyes, you hear the crackle of fire. There's a small fire nearby. And you're kind of welcomed by this dull orange glow. Seated around it, more or less, are a couple of people that you've never seen before. There is one figure which, Ray, if you would like to describe Philomena.
So, Philomena used to be human, has black hair and a pixie cut type, and kind of has the armor of, it's kind of like Black Widow's black outfit. Very
Gotcha.
tight. Makes out her body, but she has a glow about her. Sometimes you think you can see through her.
Steve,
Must have hit my head pretty hard.
Steve, if you want to describe Neville.
There is a gnome sitting at the fire. He is dressed in what are very clearly some sort of spellcaster's robes that are very dull but rich red with some bronze patterning on them. His robes are so big compared to his tiny little gnome body that he's kind of swimming in them. But from what you can see, he's got a very plain complexion. He has kind of moppy brown hair, kind of medium brown skin tone, and his little gnome feet are just kind of dangling off of the stump that he's sitting on. And he just looks like a complete and utter nerd. Like this guy probably got pantsed so many times, so many wedgies, so many swirlies. Except he also just kind of has like this occasional flash in his eyes where they just kind of go a little bit fiery. And then he blinks and it's gone.
Stephanie, if you want to describe Thea.
Thea is a halfling. She's dressed in mostly blue sovereignty robes. They're blue and purple. So an hakama tucked into boots, a little tunic. Her hair is black, shoulder length, and those wavy curls. Her skin is a dark brown, and she has a little birthmark next to one eye. Her eyes are sea glass green. And oh, hey, Iocus, can you roll me a d20?
Hey, that's my job. You stop that now.
16.
Okay, awesome. But like with Neville, when you think you see there's like a fiery look in his eyes, you catch Thea's pupils at one moment, and they look like they're glowing gold. Like, you know, when a cat or a dog has their eyes catch the light in the dark, and they do the laser eyes thing. Yeah, you catch that, and that's a little weird.
Is it weirder than the murder fox that I've been traveling with?
No.
Oh, okay. So
right
the
now,
regular
no.
levels of weird.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, you kind of get the impression that something is looking out at you sometimes.
Okay.
And checking you out, like, But Thea is busy holding a book that's almost as big as she is. And probably talking to these nerds.
Did you say that she's a halfling?
Yes, I said she was a halfling first thing.
Okay. Sorry.
If you were listening to the first half, Steve.
I zoomed in so much on the roll a d20 for me.
I just want to see if he caught that. As long as he rolled above a 10, he would be fine.
Yeah, so there's these three around a fire, Iocus, and that glow that's kind of around Thea. You've seen cloaked creatures before. There's something above her and behind her at all times that's moving. And just at a certain point, this gigantic eyeball appears and kind of turns towards you. And there's... If you've ever heard like the wind rustling pages of paper, there's that sound. And Thea, you are told that Iocus is awake and is watching you.
Oh, hey, our guest is awake. Hi.
I guess everyone turns and looks awkwardly towards Iocus.
Is Iocus showing any outward signs of being awake?
I'm just kind of lying there prone, watching this circus.
Now that attention has been called to you, if you look down, your arms and legs have been lashed, which is to say you just have ropes around your body. You have been cocooned in some kind of leather.
We wrapped him up in the skin of his dead relatives. That's so metal.
No, more along the lines of you have wrapped him up so that he is easier to carry.
Yeah, Mina probably did that.
I'll try as I see the giant eye, and I'm a little bit freaked out.
Are you hallucinating?
Not quite sure what's going on, because the last I recall was flying through the air, and I think I saw somebody I knew, but that can wait for a moment. I'm gonna try and get up, but I can't move, so I'm going to violently struggle against the ropes. So I'm not playing dead. In fact, I'm going to try and see if I can break the ropes. Probably can't.
Yeah, sure.
But...
Give me a strength check.
All right. That's a thing that's a 22.
Oh yeah. So Iocus just gives the whole body flex and snaps the ropes, and like you weren't tightly bound into it, but it was enough just to keep your arms and legs from flopping around while you were being moved.
And I'm going to immediately regret it, because I am sore across my body, and I'm like, oh, my body can do this. Oh, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, the first thing that hits you is you're like, oh, my muscles are sore. And then you realize how bitterly cold it is as your body is out of your cocoon and you are exposed to just this biting wind that's blowing through.
Am I wearing my jacket?
Yeah, you're
okay, good.
You're fully dressed, as you remember.
We aren't those kind of freaks.
Now, just for those who may have forgotten, Iocus is nearly 9 foot tall Minotaur, so he's in good company with these wee folk. But he wears the black duster. He is probably sans his hat.
He does not have his
point. But he's basically, no pun intended, actually pun completely intended, dressed like a cowboy.
Mm-hmm. Your clothes and your clothes and your magical items are singed. You're covered in a ton of soot, and fairly certain you have been splattered with you've been splattered with blood that has dried.
That's not entirely uncommon.
To cover you,
this amount, yes.
You probably had a couple of gallons spilled on you. When you break those bonds, actually that eyeball like goes wide, and around it this glowing sigil starts to form and get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Hey, stop that.
You know, you could have just asked us very politely and we would have gladly taken those ropes off.
I don't know who you are, but you clearly don't know who I am.
Thea's just staring at you like, what are you talking about? With the
eye, and Iocus is pointing above Thea.
Yeah, when Thea looks back, that sigil has gone from probably about the size of her head to now it is easily 3 or 4 times her size and has sprouted wings, and we'll say those wings have caught on fire and have just started to rotate. So the sigil is spinning faster and faster around that central eye.
Do I recognize the sigil, or is this just Sabathiel just fluffing out like a cat?
That is him in I'm about to disintegrate something with divine fire mode.
Yeah, Thea just looks up, like, kind of behind her, like, hey, stop that. You don't want to singe him again.
The whole sigil just kind of like rotates so it is directly above Thea. And the 3 of you can hear that sound of pages rustling. When Sabathiel talks to you, it's in concepts more than words, and you're getting a lot of "Are you sure?" because everyone else with hooves that we've encountered here, we've needed to disintegrate with divine fire.
He seems nice enough. You can always disintegrate him later, okay? I promise. If he needs disintegrating, you get dibs.
The sigil floats back behind Thea, looks over at Iocus, and that eye just narrows, and it starts spinning slower, and then reverses until the sigil completely disappears.
As it's doing that, Iocus is going to narrow his eyes and give him the stink eye. Nothing like a staring contest with a floating eye.
As the eye kind of narrows, it starts to fade out, and you just hear the sound of a slamming book, and then it pops out of existence.
Yeah.
Hey, no picking fights.
I'm not. I just asked you to close the eye.
And he did.
Last thing that I had that had an eye on it mysteriously led me to getting catapulted here. So
Oh yeah, that did happen.
you can
How do you
understand
know,
the hesitation.
How do you know here is a bad thing?
It's not where I... Have y'all seen anyone else? Have y'all... an elf, very pretty, obnoxiously so, obnoxiously attitudey, a little stabby thing or a little bitey fox? Any of them.
I like foxes.
The only stabby thing here is Mina.
All right.
I can stab you. Would that make you feel better?
No, I'm my friends. Where have y'all seen any other friends? Any of my friends? They're. I've got to find them.
There is nobody with you.
Well, should we go get Nameless?
I mean, he wasn't with you, but we have a friend, sort of.
I seem to recall that when this giant Minotaur fell from the sky in a most cataclysmic event, that Nameless had something to say about that.
Yeah, he did.
So, Nameless, your centaur friend, has gone out hunting. Mostly because if anybody were to come across him, he is the least conspicuous of all of you.
Well, since he's out hunting, maybe he will find your fox friend. Although
He
it might
called-
be dinner.
He called you Dad.
At that, Iocus narrows his eyes. He's like, "Where are we?"
Who has the map?
We're amongst the centaurs. That's all I can tell you.
Fuck.
I think it's safe to say that at any given time, Thea has the appropriate document.
Oh, okay. I have a map.
If not the map, definitely a map.
I'll dig through my bag and see if I can find a map of this place.
Okay.
And there's a lot of paper in this bag.
Mm.
A lot.
Mm.
If it wasn't so neatly organized, it would be bursting out.
So,
Is there a map of this place in this bag?
In general terms,
Okay.
it's
so
not a hook a left at Walnut over there and
no. So what you have is a very detailed map of the sovereignty that has kind of a vaguely defined island, probably a couple 100 miles away from it, in the middle of the ocean. And there's that classic like "Here be dragons," except that it's there are dragons here. There to the south of that, there is a ill-defined, just kind of geographic blob that has no details on it, that just has the Centaur plains on it.
So does it at least cover where we are? Or approximately?
You can point to the blob.
Yeah,
Yeah, from what you've seen, you're studious enough. Like, the shoreline given here is not at all accurate. It just kind of looks like someone went Oh yeah, and over there's centaurs.
Most of the cartographers we sent that way were decapitated and horribly murdered, so we're just gonna guess what this is.
If Thea, if you had to guess, you were probably directly south of the Obsidian Isles, which is to say about the halfway point between the Sovereignty and the other side of the map, which is also ill-defined and not has no details. It's nighttime, but Iocus, far to the south, you can see there is way off in the distance, despite the snow and the wind, there is a set of mountains that are very, very tall. Almost impossibly tall, you might say. And one of them still has, it effectively has the side of it collapsed in on itself, and there is a cloud of smoke billowing out of it.
Do I recognize said mountain?
You should.
So when you went chasing off after Ardith and Shannara and Galdrian, the thing that you had been told is that they were on in the tallest mountain in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And out of all the mountains to the south, that is by far the tallest one.
Yeah. Well,
So Thea will come over and show you the map and say, "We're sort of right in this area somewhere. This is not a great map, but
we need to find my friends, and if we can't find my friends, I need to get back to the Sovereignty. I know they can't stay away from her father, so.
Well, I mean, you're a father. They can't stay away from you.
I'm not their father.
Oh, their father. You are a father, though.
Yes, a long time ago.
Well, he's here.
How do you know this?
Because he said dad.
I'm just kind of curious how a Minotaur such as yourself is the father of a Centaur. Was there a turkey baster involved?
No, there was not.
magic?
No. Haven't you ever adopted a pet before?
Oh, don't say that to him.
Oh, that's incredibly offensive.
Really?
Oh, wow. I mean, we were told that centaurs were dangerous, but he's been really nice to us, and I don't really appreciate you taking that kind of. And you called yourself his father? Oh.
It's been a long time. I left the Centaurs a long, long time ago. Better question, away from me and my situation. Why the hell are y'all here if this is the Centaur Plains? Shouldn't y'all be a lot more dead?
I mean,
Well,
I am. Thanks. I used to hunt centaurs. Maybe I just wanted to reminisce.
okay, maybe, but that doesn't answer the question.
You're
Why
very
are y'all here?
ungrateful for us helping you.
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I mean, we've been carrying you around for 5 days. 5 days. You know how heavy you are?
Yes, I do.
Well, it's mostly just been nameless. So, your son, you remember, the one you adopted like a pet?
Yes, I recall.
Neville's not going to let you live that down, just so you know.
Well, it was. Haven't you ever had a pet and called it cat dad? You're not the actual biological father, but you are part of the
You could have
family.
just said you adopted him. You didn't have to say like a pet.
There's no legal. Why are we still talking about this? Why are you here?
Random told us to come here.
Who?
Yeah, you don't remember. Pretty lady,
Yeah,
blonde
with
skin,
the half the
dreadlocks.
face. Yeah.
her.
I know her.
They don't know
When
who she
did
is.
this happen?
Yeah, I suspected
Just
this
ignore them.
Yeah. Well, y'all won't remember any interaction with her until she wants y'all to. She is very friendly, very
I'm already
helpful.
forgetting you saying this.
Yes, you would.
But he doesn't forget the pet comment.
I'm never going to forget that.
If it
Fortunately,
makes you feel better,
or
my last pet
unfortunately.
was rock.
yeah. Well, unfortunately, if random is involved, then that means that y'all, the dragon flight has been involved.
I am now paying attention again. And Neville, you have no idea where he pulls it out of, but he pulls like a little notepad from his robes and feather quill, and just kind of a little pot of ink, and just dips it in. He's like, "All right, start talking."
I'm not sure that I should. If she doesn't want you to remember, then y'all haven't been
But you said
chosen.
she's a dragon.
I
There's
can.
draconic stuff going on. I actually happened to do my postdoctoral thesis on draconic artifacts.
Now he's never going to leave you alone.
Until I talk to Random again, I don't think I'm going to share any further
Very
information.
secretive. Plays favorites.
Yes. So, why are y'all here? Y'all said y'all have been carrying me for 5 days.
Yes.
Why pick
Heavy.
me up?
Heavy.
Yes. Why pick me up? Why are y'all doing
She
what you're
told
doing?
me to.
Because
Random.
told us that we were going to meet somebody, and then we had to be at this place. You know, how
Well, not
she
this
is.
place, but around here.
Yes.
You
Five
know how
days
she
from
is.
Here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
We don't know how she is, but Thea over there said we had to take you.
Good plan.
And
I didn't want to. You're
Did
heavy.
she say anything else?
Why are we here, GM? What exactly did she tell us?
So every time Random has asked you to do something, it's been kind of like, oh, by the way, you should maybe do this, or you should go to this area because it will be beneficial to you. She doesn't
give us details.
She doesn't really give you details.
She says, be here, and that's it.
Yeah, and so far that's actually paid out for you guys. The three of you have been adventuring together for probably the better part of a year now. And she's visited you a couple of times, and every time it's led to, for instance, at one point she led you to this ancient hall of magical artifacts, which you had to give most back to the dragons, but you were able to get quite a few for yourselves. Things like that. She's very vague, but so far she hasn't proven wrong.
She kind of just tells us to go here, and then things happen.
Oh, awesome.
I've just been treating it as a cosmic roll of the dice.
Then we'll get along just fine. Because that has been most of my life.
Well, once you take back the pet thing.
I already did. I didn't mean it in a bad way. I'm just
Nameless
saying.
has been very kind. I consider him a close personal friend.
Oh my. Well, I need to recover a little bit more, but I need to begin searching for my friends. Would y'all be willing to help me with that?
You said that your friends were a pretty elf.
Mel. Just
It
to help
Doesn't
with it.
really narrow it down.
Cuts half the population.
Of elves?
Then we have I believe you said there was someone with a bad attitude.
Gotta be more specific. Stabby elf. Also pretty and short. She's family too.
Not narrowing it down.
Yeah, no, she's my niece.
Adopted,
Clearly,
but not a pet.
like a pet. Although I would never say that to her because I'd get stabbed.
I can't possibly see why.
No, you would get it right back at you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you said a fox.
Uncle Moo.
You mean a kitsune?
Yes, not a pet. Will bite.
No, we have not seen any of those here. If they were here, they would be very dead, most likely.
Oh.
The elves would probably have been decapitated and left out as a sign of some sort of achievement of military success.
You notice
while
a
the
murderous
fox
look.
would be skinned alive and worn as a chieftain's sash.
He's a very up person, as you can tell.
Little one, I warn you. Don't speak about my friends that way, or we will have problems.
I'm just telling you, if they are here,
Please
they're
stop.
in danger.
Yes.
So you guys, while this is going on, all of you are perceptive enough to hear footsteps on snow. We'll say coming from, why not the east? They get closer and closer.
You'll need to hide.
And once they reach about where the ring of the fire light reaches, you can hear them, and they seem to be getting closer, but you don't see any depressions in the snow.
Mm.
I assume all of you are looking that way, and when you look back, sitting on the opposite side of the fire is a woman in leather armor. She's got bronze skin. Her face is tattooed on half of it. What draws you in is just the creak of her armor as she leans forward and holds her hands over the fire. Says, I think you forgot quite a few important details about your friends, Iocus. Neville and Philomena, when you lay eyes on Random, you are able to remember every interaction you've had with her. Yeah. She's sitting there, warming her hands on the fire.
A few details were left out, but I don't know these guys, so I'm not giving them all the details. And I gave them the high points, mainly the bitey fox.
Neville is furiously, just with an artist's touch, just sketching
That's
Random.
not the motion that you're making.
He is just furiously sketching Random.
Is that what
Hi,
he's
Random.
calling it now?
Hi. She gives you a wave. Hello, Sabathiel. And you just hear a couple of pages flutter. Well, it's nice to see you too. And actually, to be fair, Iocus, you're being very misinformative about Suna. Not once has she ever bit anyone while in your presence.
Thank you.
Says a specter across the continent.
Somewhere across the continent, Suna just snaps, "Thank you very much."
To be fair,
She has no idea why.
that's
Yeah,
also
or
in
it's
character.
sneezing. Sorry.
That's true, but she did want to murder a lot of people. We kept her from it most of the time.
That's fair. But that's why she was with you. So,
What'd you land me in? Literally.
nothing. You, and she looks up kind of pensively. Through no fault of my own,
Oh, of course not. You were not involved.
you may and or may not have been thrown by a gigantic explosion somewhere, and these good folks happen to be there to catch you.
In the Centaur plains.
Well,
With my son.
Also for a value of cash, since you ate dirt.
And apparently for a value of sun, too.
Neville, let it go!
listen. You and your friends. And she kind of looks over at the three who are not Iocus's. Not you. I mean, not that you're not friends. I mean,
They're not friends.
You don't know him yet.
The
Yes.
ones he's worried about, right?
Yes. You all have, let's call it unresolved personal issues. She gives you a knowing nod.
That's putting it lightly.
Yes.
Yes. So, someone who is not me,
Nameless.
it's very rude. You should actually get him a name.
No, I was saying you would remain nameless.
Oh,
We have to clear this up.
exactly why you should get him a name. Get him a nice, strong name.
Iocus.
Strong.
Well.
We're trying to maintain an attitude of positivity here.
It sounds like Suna would be a good name.
Says
Only
the
of a
spectral voice
psychopath.
from across the continent.
No, that was the spectral voice that was here.
Would it put your mind at ease if I told you they were alive?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Where are they at?
I can't tell you that.
I did not miss this.
Well, if it's any consolation, outside of this deal here, and she kind of gestures to everyone, moving forward,
Yes.
I'm allowed to assist you more openly and disclose certain information. This is just a pre-existing thing that
Condition.
No, there's just a lot of work here that someone who is not me did before any events that may and or may not have occurred in a caldera.
Hey, Thea.
Yes?
Is this the one that
Yes.
is making us carry the big heavy cow?
Yeah, that's random.
Yeah, you remember her telling you previously
Yeah.
that you needed to help.
Anytime you're
Maybe
in her
I
presence.
don't remember. Did you think about that? Maybe I don't want to remember her.
Maybe
That's
you're
fair,
being a
but you do.
bitch. Maybe you're just being an ornery bitch.
As the GM, I'm telling you, you do.
Yeah.
You can decide what you do with that information, but you know.
Random is out of sight, out of mind for you guys.
See?
But
But
she's,
she's
currently
inside.
But she's
So
inside, and that's the
she's
problem.
in mind.
Okay.
So random.
Yes.
Theoretically.
Cookie, and she reaches in a bag, pulls out a cookie.
No, save it for Suna.
She's working through some things right now,
Mm.
and I won't be directly contacting her, so you might as well eat the cookie, because
Okay.
otherwise it's just going back in the bag.
All right. I'll eat this for Suna.
Yep, she hands you a cookie that is still oven warm.
Nice. Now that your attempt to feed me has succeeded.
No, I just, at some point, picked up this bag that apparently generates an infinite number of cookies,
Oh.
and I don't know what to do with it.
Can I hold on to it for you?
Um,
It would be no aid whatsoever. You could actually, if you lost it, I would have to return it to you at some point in the future.
well, the thing is, it is an incredible icebreaker. Like, people are entirely disarmed when you offer them cookies. So, I think I'll hold on to it for a moment. I'm not a very social person, so I can use all the help I can get.
Okay, but back to my theoretical, because it's clearly not a question. Theoretically, if somebody was or was not helping an existing situation in these parts of the lands that just somehow came together right here,
Mhm.
what would the theoretical purpose of that be?
Well, you all, and by you all, I mean all of you, not just you or them or those two over there or the angel that's hiding behind her.
Angel.
I mean all of you.
Hmm.
There's something here that you all need. I mean, it's different. Like, you don't need the same thing,
Mhm.
but you all need different things that are here. Well, close to here. Well, not really close to here. Adjacent to this particular region. Oh, which reminds me. I actually know what you're looking for. Thea and Neville and Philomena. Wait, did I already tell you that?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I believe he told me that I was going to find the artifact that contains my true name and my family's true names.
Yes.
And you promised me a primer for this book if I did errands for you.
Yes.
I just want my armor to be fixed, and apparently you know how to do that. Or where I can find how to do that.
Yes. I know those. Believe it or not, crazy coincidence. They're all actually in the same place.
Shock. Ah.
I know. I am
Worked very hard. Somebody theoretically would have worked very hard to make sure that they all align right
Yeah,
there conveniently.
It's strange. Whoever put this little adventuring group of yours together must have known that somewhere down the line you would all end up in the same place. That's very random.
Yeah.
Able to pull the strings of fate itself. Underline, 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 underline.
We're waiting to see if it's some divine power, just some sadistic force manipulating our lives on a grand scale. I haven't decided yet.
Not all divine power is bad.
Have you seen it?
Random looks at you and is like, gives you the hand signal.
Are we talking about Random or Gary?
There are some.
I'm talking about Sabathiel, thank you.
There are some celestial beings who you would be better off consorting with the infernal, not the one that my family consorted with.
Yeah, random nods. You're not far off. Oh, except the thing that you need, Iocus. That's not in the same place as the thing they need.
What do I need?
Well, to resolve whatever this internal thing you have going on with your past, whatever that is, you need to figure that out.
Don't wanna.
Oh, also, small, completely
Your small things before have not
not
been small.
related to that. Well, tangentially related. Okay. It's kind of important, like, you can't resolve your thing without resolving this other thing. You need to unite the Centaurs. And she just gives you this, like, look.
The fuck you say?
Hear me out.
I yes.
Hear me out.
Yes. Explain.
If you don't,
Mm-hmm.
they're all going to die.
Like all of us? Or the centaurs?
Like all the centaurs.
I mean, you're already dead.
I mean, that's true.
You're aware that you're not alive, right?
I am aware.
Okay. Just checking. Never can be too sure.
But I want to make sure I don't disappear forever.
Some ghosts kind of forget that whole current status thing.
Sometimes I do. But I don't want to disappear forever.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
None of us do.
that's probably a side effect of not uniting the Centaurs. Small little small thing.
So you need to get to work. I don't want to disappear.
Maybe I misspoke. He doesn't need, well, okay, he does need to unite the Centaurs, but it can't be him. They can't unite behind him.
They have to unite behind the centaur, which was my last problem, which was why I left here in the first place, because they were like, ooh, war chief, and that couldn't happen, so...
So why did you not groom your son?
I did. And I left, because he couldn't have become a war chief on his own if I stuck around.
You didn't do very well.
That's not entirely accurate.
He's very capable. He's bringing us home some tasty grub.
My son is still alive. That says everything I need to know. I've done a fantastic job.
That bar for you is really low.
Have you met the centaurs?
Yeah.
My son being alive,
Except for him.
fan-fucking-tastic. I gave him some great skills. That just means we have a place to build off of.
To be fair, they're not undeservedly assholes. The sovereignty really tore this place up.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right. The Sunchaser Sovereignty has a very storied history of trampling upon the non-elven races.
Why do you think I went to the Sovereignty after I left the Centaur plains? Because I knew they wouldn't come for me there.
And then the dragons really tore it up.
And it's not like the humans are any better.
Well, to be fair, the
What did
dragons,
I say? Oh, I thought I said authority.
to be
My
fair,
bad.
the humans. Okay, I won't say this to a human in person. right?
Hello.
But you're
You're not a person. You're a ghost.
You're an ex-human.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we are all people. The humanization of the word
So you were
Person.
saying random.
is a byproduct of the Essonian Empire.
Say what you want about the
Neville's going to keep going.
the humans, but they've been more or less a stabilizing influence on the world. Mostly.
That's right. Killing centaurs was very profitable.
That's not what I meant at all.
Yeah.
But thank you for hijacking that.
But that's not
She
what you
is
meant.
an ex-human. Appropriation is their thing.
No, the humans, after that whole incident with the technocracy, they really looked inwards, and stopped expanding. And ever since then, I mean, they haven't declared war on a nation in generations. The sovereignty does like every Thursday.
We could learn a thing or two about them.
See, good people.
Excuse me, the sovereignty does every fourth day.
I will reserve judgment on good people, centaur killer, but continue.
So, does anybody want to take bets on when the three of you are going to start punching each other?
Doesn't do any good to punch a ghost.
I mean,
As he's in his mind, like
you can do some damage to her when she's corporeal. I can talk, really.
You should not be encouraging physical violence. We should be using our words and the diversity of our backgrounds to greater effect.
You're using those words to a great effect over there, Neville.
I mean, he's not wrong. There's
he's
there's
not
power in
wrong.
words,
He's not wrong, but he's
just
also...
not here.
yeah. There's also power in fists. That's how I've lived my life. It's mostly worked. As
Yes.
he ruminates on how poorly it has worked.
Anyway, cookie, and she just holds out like a cookie to the group, whoever wants one.
I'm snagging one.
Neville is going to gratefully accept the cookie, and then he will split off half of it and offer half of it back to random.
No, she just like rummages around, like sticks her hand in the bag, and further and further until it's probably up to her shoulder, and then she comes out. Damn, I never find the ones I want. And she bites into her own. Anyway, but
So,
the good news for that little quest.
yes.
Good news. You pretty much have everything you need right here.
Cryptic.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
And I'm sure 100% accurate.
I already have that written down in my notes, and Neville will show you his old notepad. And in addition to an artist's rendition of random, he has like the word cryptic underlined, and
How far down the page?
Well, random.
Sorry. I was just admiring that drawing.
Yes.
It's a shame, really.
I have to say,
you
You have to or you want to?
I guess
both.
I'm going to be forgetting this, aren't I?
Yeah.
Can you remember it for me?
maybe not. It really is a pleasure to see you. I know that it's we've been through nothing together. Thank you for sharing that my friends are okay. That
No, I didn't say they
Was-
were okay. I said they were alive.
for us, that's okay. Compared to what we just left,
Galdrian might have something to say about that.
Galdrian always has something to say.
You're not
It's
wrong.
his thing.
But the point's anyway.
Thank you for sharing that they're alive. I really do appreciate it. You're a good friend.
Oh, we're friends. Look at that. That's cool. I think that's the first time anybody's ever said that to me.
So we found one of your friends.
Mm-hmm. Just
Well-
not any of the ones I was looking for.
To be entirely accurate, I found him. Well, also to be entirely accurate, I never actually lost him.
Hmm. She's been following me for years.
That sounds fun.
I don't know,
Probably
but
not.
Well, yes, I can't imagine what it would be like to be followed around by a powerful being.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
he thinks you're a powerful being. It's true, but another compliment.
Yeah, we go through this every time
Hmm.
Neville and I meet.
I am so sorry.
It would
That
be
is-
so much easier if you just let me remember something.
She has to have some fun.
Well, Neville, I'm sorry, but it's not really up to me.
I know. I don't know, but I imagine if it were, I'd remember something. I've spent my entire life studying and wanting to learn more about dragons, and oh, cruel fate to take the knowledge away from me.
She, well, sometimes, as a wise man once said, it be like that.
It do. It really do.
She looks up. Oh, well, the boy's almost back. And, oh, you're having deer for dinner.
Oh dear.
Well, before I go, I just want to, oh, that's right. There's something you don't have here. You've got the ghost
Mhm.
and the sorcerer,
Mhm.
and I don't know if you're actually a cleric now. I don't know. You have a weird relationship.
If I'm a cleric, I should be able to turn undead, right?
She's like, hey, Philomena, turn around.
I mean, we could try. We could test it.
Not everyone manifests their powers the same way.
Hey, I have divine powers. Thank you.
We'll just put you in the other category.
Ah.
And then you've got the boy.
Hmm.
You really need to keep an eye on him. He's got some things going on.
Daddy issues, it sounds like.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine why.
I can.
Hmm.
One more thing. Little minor detail. You need a spirit talker.
What?
Someone who can commune with spirits.
Yeah. Side note. Does Nameless's mom speak with spirits? And I would recall that. You would say that.
I didn't say anything. But
Hmm.
from the look in your eyes, you know of one.
Yes.
Hey, that's good news.
Great news, everybody. No, I don't think that is a entirely accessible option. You, I do know one.
Well, great. There you go.
But
Can Neville try to see if he knows what sort of thing Iocus is going on about, why he's hemming and hawing,
Um,
or if he can at least figure out that's
like
old girlfriend or something like that.
there's definitely something there. It's probably hard to specifically pick up.
but I seem to I recall that she said something along the back of my entrails would become extrails if she ever saw me again. So,
Well, you know what they say about women. They're fickle and prone to change.
all dead? All centaurs dead? If the thing doesn't happen.
Well, that might have been a bit of an under-exaggeration. There's probably a fair number of other civilizations that'll start to go extinct as well.
Which ones? It may have an effect on the decision.
Well, you know, Iocus, I'm sure you'll reach deep within yourself, and at the end of the day, you'll do the right thing. I have faith in you.
Meanwhile, Iocus is sitting here weighing the pros and cons of letting the elves go extinct. Oh, everyone I care about, my nieces, Xenos, but Galdrian.
Yeah, really,
I'm friends with Galdrian.
really the list of
The annoying parts of Galdrian.
the list of pros in allowing the elves to go extinct is, you know, sheaves of paper, and really the only cons are like, man, gonna lose Ardith and Shannara.
And Xenos.
Yeah.
She stands up and kind of brushes cookie crumbs off of her pants and says, well, I need to make myself a bit scarce. And she holds up a sundial, like pulls it out of her a pocket, and the little dial pops up, which is weird considering there's no sunlight. And
Yeah.
she says, I'm running late for an appointment. I won't, but whoever's been assigned to work with them will let Galdrian and Suna and Ardith know that you're alive, at least.
For now.
For now. You'll have your hands full. That's for certain.
Of his own entrails if we meet whoever it is that he doesn't want to.
No, to be clear, that like there's a good chance of that happening regardless of who you meet here.
Yeah. Actually, most of the other centaurs, at least, years and years ago, I was on much better terms with them than our spirit talker.
I mean, technically you're a spirit talker because you're talking to me.
Hey, she
you're
raises-
actually a free-roaming vapor. Never mind, it's a bit
Oh.
technical.
What do you mean vapor?
That's what you get after you eat, legumes, high in protein food.
Oh no,
I am not a gas.
it's not far off. You're gaseous ectoplasm when you're not bound to that armor.
I'm not
At
a
least-
gas.
At least as far as I remember when it happened. That's neither here nor there, though.
So
mean-
you passed away?
So I've heard from someone who was there when you were bound into that armor.
You heard it here, folks. We are on episode 1 of season 3 and already have our first fart joke.
I'm surprised it took this long.
Yeah.
It's a slow start, but we got lots more where that comes from.
She finishes brushing cookie crumbs off and straightens herself up. Well, I forgot to ask.
Oh, shit. I mean,
I'm just imagining like a
Iocus is...
iconic Columbo.
Just one more thing, Mr. Iocus. No, she stops and says, I forgot to ask. How are you doing? Is everything okay? Is there anything that could help you out of your current predicament?
For it to all magically resolve itself, but I don't think they make that in a bottle. But
I mean, maybe in Hycosia you could probably pick something up in the market, but
no.
that's not due to float this way for a while, actually.
Yeah. No, I am dealing with some stuff, but I'm as well as can be.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, and he'll be glad to hear it too.
Who's that?
She looks around. Well, the great gold worm. He'll be happy to hear that you're doing well.
The great gold. What's it?
Maybe I've said too much.
Wait, random. No,
You
hold on.
definitely have to remember that one, Thea.
You said he, and you said you've been following me for years. What's he interested in me for?
You are so lucky.
Neville,
That's
down.
That's a very good question. And we're going to just put a pin in that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll revisit it at a later date.
Or really unlucky. I haven't decided yet.
Everything you've said to me has been true. You have done nothing wrong to me. So while I am very curious, I trust you.
You fool. I mean, yes. Perfectly correct.
Okay.
I have
think
not
you were right the
misled
first
you
time.
in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
That I have been aware of yet.
Correct.
Yes. All right.
So, just, and she pats Iocus on the cheek, which I imagine sitting down, he's about eye level with her.
Yeah.
She pats him on the cheek and says, just, do that one little thing, unite the whole thing. Soon. Did I say soon? It needs to be soon.
How soon? Are we talking 20 minutes? Are we talking 3 weeks?
I would honestly be very impressed with you if you could do it in 20 minutes. But you probably need to do it before the next change of the moon. Probably.
I look up at the moon. How long?
Do you have any survival skills?
As
Yeah,
a
we're going
matter
to
of
definition
fact,
of changing the moon here because there could be several.
I have Nomad, or Centaur Packmaster. I think either of those.
I have Scout.
Give me a wisdom check with any particular backgrounds you
All
may
right.
feel
All
are
right.
appropriate.
So plus 6 plus 9. That's 14.
14? Yeah. It's a little hard to make out through the storm, but you've probably got a solid 2 weeks before the moon changes.
Oh, just a couple of weeks and change the geopolitical landscape of warlike, murderous tribal people. 8 tribes, breadth of a continent. Small thing. 2 weeks.
There you go. And she pats you on the cheek again. You've got it.
Or you all end up like me.
No. You're aware. No, never mind.
I'm a ghost.
I'm aghast.
She kind of eyes you up and down. Remind me next time I visit you to explain your particular situation to you.
I'm a ghost.
Sure.
Does
See? She agrees. I'm a ghost.
then I guess you like bustin'.
Yes. Bustin makes her feel good. Random
Sorry.
steps away from Iocus,
No, you're not.
and she, kind of does that half step and turns, goes, "That's a really good look for you," and she flicks your nose ring. I'm glad you found that.
Yeah, me too.
She walks over to Neville and says, "I really, really apologize."
It's okay. As long as someone remembers the knowledge, I can't let it get destroyed. And he'll rip out his page that he wrote in and hand it over to her.
"Oh, that's sweet, but you can keep it." And she leans down and kisses him on the cheek.
You've never seen a gnome turn red before, have you?
Wow, that clashes with your robes.
And she pats you on the head and says, "Just keep at it. I'm sure you'll get it one day. But in the meantime, dinner is that way." And she steps out of the light of the fire. And as soon as she does, Neville and Philomena, you forget ever having dealt with random.
3,
For some reason.
2, 1, and
For some reason, Neville has ripped a bunch of pages out of his notebook, where he was drawing some very detailed flowers.
I feel like these are important. He's gonna go ahead and put them in his bag. But anyone know why I was drawing flowers?
Does it still
Oh, that's right. Because no, that doesn't sound right.
look like random to Iocus and Thea?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Just checking.
You remember him having scribbled a picture, a very detailed drawing of Random, but does not look like her.
Man, I'm glad that doesn't happen to me anymore.
Thea's gonna come up and pat Iocus on the shoulder, or reach really, really high,
Yeah.
and do that. Like, you have more complications than a Tawdry's romance novel.
Yeah, they're some of my favorites.
Oh, they are?
Uh-huh. Have you read the most recent, Love's Longest Desire?
Probably not because we've been out here, but I would love to.
Oh, I'll see if I can... Oh, I don't have any of my stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. We'll eventually run into a town and we can track one down.
Yeah.
And then we can gossip over it.
From the edge of the camp, you hear heavier footsteps in the snow. And after a few seconds, a young Centaur steps in. He's got a deer draped across his back, and he's got a bow slung over his human half. There's a quiver. And he looks like he's maybe 14 or 15. He's just got like this wisp of a black mustache growing. He has very dark, short hair. And he says, "Who are we gossiping about?"
Oh, hey there! Your dad's awake.
Oh,
And he promised to read bad romance novels with me.
yeah, he's good at bad romance.
Yeah, we got that impression.
Hi, son. How are you?
He just takes the deer, throws it on the ground. "If you don't mind, I need to go wash up." And his back is just covered with blood from where he shot this deer and slung it over himself.
Right. We're gonna need a bigger fire. And Neville rubs his hands together and takes a deep breath and puts his hands out to grow the fire.
Yeah, so that's where we'll cut it, is Neville assuming a pose and the fire just growing into a blazing bonfire.
Welcome back.
Oh, that happened.
That happened.
It ended in flames, but not the way we thought it would.
I don't know. Iocus's personal life is about to go down in
Father of the fucking year.
To be fair,
To be fair, you're like, oh, like a pet. Adopted him like a pet.
so Iocus has good relationship with his son, left on very bad terms with the mom. So, I mean, the son will be all kinds of complicated because dad left him, but Iocus likes the son just fine.
Yeah, just like you like a pet.
Yeah, of
Hey,
course.
Neville.
Babe.
Neville's never gonna let that go.
You heard it here first, folks. The AAP podcast is that children are pets.
Honey, remember the part where our cats are our children?
And don't forget, people, spay and neuter your pets.
Spay and neuter your Minotaurs.
Well, Pero, we got bad news.
Well, having said that, I think that's what I got for you guys. New stuff for us. Let's see. The sponsored F-bombs really help us out. Being a patron really help us out. That stuff costs money, of course. You know, it's free. Leaving a review, shit's free.
Downloading the podcast, also free and makes it available at any time for you.
I won't say no to a download. I will, however, say thank you for any reviews you give us, because that apparently helps way more.
Listen, like and review.
Yeah, smash
that like button.
I'll smash something.
Oh, something's gonna get smashed, all right. And on that note,
Love's Longest Desire up next.
yep, there's our $69 a month goal reward. We'll actually write Love's Longest Desire, an in-universe fan fiction.
I mean, that was your plan anyway, kind of.
Who knows? Maybe Iocus is a ghostwriter.
So,
I'm the ghost.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say,
the ghost this time.
that's also at $69 a month. Steph will draw Iocus and Philomena together, and the title will be Ghostwriter.
I'll do what now?
And on that that note of shock and surprise, thanks for joining us,
No,
guys.
that was outrage.
We'll see y'all next time.